Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. Today I would like to discuss what I consider to be the most exciting features of Starfield, and what I am looking forward to the most. As always, a huge thank you to all of my patrons and channel members. Thank you so much for the support, it is truly appreciated, and if you do enjoy my videos, please do consider subscribing and helping the channel to grow. So Starfield is just around the corner. In fact, at the time of recording this, we are exactly 1 week away from release, and I always find myself wondering what it is that I am really looking forward to when I can finally jump in on September 1st. So today, in no particular order, I would like to run through what I consider to be the most exciting features of Starfield, and what I plan to do once I finally get my hands on Bethesda's latest game. So let us kick off with one aspect that I'm pretty sure we all love about Bethesda games like Fallout and the Elder Scrolls series, and that is exploration. Whether it's wandering wastelands or dodging the giants across vast tundras, I love stumbling upon a new location and seeing what it has to offer, maybe even spending the night there while I loot it, allowing me to experience the location at different times of day. Now, although I'm not expecting to be able to wander the vastness of a full planet in Starfield, hopping from area to area and exploring the full location before setting sail elsewhere will be something that I spend a lot of time doing, making note of locations that I really like or that offer a good amount of resources to one day come back to and establish an outpost there, or just live there in my ship for a while. Now, of course, with thousands of different celestial bodies to discover, exploration will be a major feature for everybody, and I can't wait to see what unique locations, points of interest, structures, and secrets there are to be found, not to mention the other colonies, offering a stark contrast to the United colonies like the Frontier colony of Freestar or Neon, which sounds like they will be pretty dangerous, and of course the Unclaimed systems, which are most definitely going to be very dangerous. But with exploration comes the discovery of creatures, both harmless and harmful, and everything in between, and there looks to be a wide variety of fauna, each offering potential resources and challenges, and it did mention that we will be able to chart and discover wildlife, produce resources from various flora and fauna, and gain experience and even rewards for fully surveying planets and systems. And I really hope that there is a mission to gather and collect information about the native wildlife within the galaxy, as that would certainly provide me with hours of gameplay. Now, weather is also something that I think will be quite exciting in Starfield, as Fallout 4 handled weather pretty well. Well, the mods did make it even better, but I am excited to experience all types of weather on all of the different planets and moons, and here's hoping that we get to see some very unique weather types, especially harsh weather that may require us to take shelter and wait it out. And with them saying that they have studied data from NASA to help create the planets, I'm expecting some very interesting atmospheres, biomes, and weather types as well. Also, I do believe it was mentioned that there will be many player homes available to buy at most of the cities found throughout the galaxy, so earning money to get a nice townhouse like in Oblivion or Skyrim will feel quite rewarding. And as we explore these city locations, I'm intrigued to see what is on offer there. So moving on, another feature that I am very excited for is the ships. Now, not necessarily building ships, as that doesn't appeal to me as much. It does appeal to me, just not as much as living on the ships, stealing ships, and exploring derelicts. Having things like weapon benches to customize our arsenal, crafting benches for creating various useful items, and I do also expect to see things like lockers for storing and displaying our outfits and suits. There is a cargo hold, and hopefully some nice places on board just to chill out, will make ships a very nice experience, regardless of whether I am planetside or in space. Now, I don't know how vast the customization of ships will be, but there does look to be enough to have a fleet of interesting vessels for various reasons. And something that I really look forward to doing is checking out the ships after I've stolen them. From the bad guys, of course, boarding and killing pirates, to then acquire it as my own without having to pay for it or build it myself. Maybe even selling them. I can't remember if I heard that was possible or if I dreamt it, so do let me know in the comments if we know for sure. But when it comes to derelict ships, I really want to live out my alien movie fantasy, finding and exploring a derelict, and I really hope that there are derelicts out there with deadly creatures on board, or maybe discovering cool things inside that I can keep and display on my own ships, or my homes just to reminisce over at a later date. Now, as I say, I am looking forwards to building ships, especially as there looks to be a lot of options to allow us to create some very unique designs. For me personally, I think I will either create out of my own imagination, which isn't the best, or maybe my favourites from movies or shows like Star Wars and Firefly, and I'm certain that I will use many of my favourite Star Citizen ships for inspiration as well. But it does sound like customizing and upgrading ships will be a necessity to progress, being able to reach further star systems or transport more goods or crew, so there will be plenty to keep us entertained with just ship building alone. So next up we have the main quest line. And if I'm totally honest, I don't usually finish main quest storylines in Bethesda games. I have never finished Skyrim, nor Fallout 4 I don't think. Not because I'm not interested or because they're no good, but because I usually get completely distracted by side questing and base building and just living my life in the environment. But this time around, I think my main save will focus on working through the main story with the Constellation crew just to unlock all of the secrets of the galaxy, while other saves will focus on things like side questing and base building. And from what we have seen, the Constellation group could have us involved in some very interesting things, all the while building relationships with the many crew members, and you can tell from what we have seen that they have spent a lot of time and effort on the main quest. So I will do the game justice for once and actually complete it. And talking of side quests, as mentioned, these are always an element of Bethesda games that I love. The side quests can be so engaging, meeting interesting NPCs, discovering cool locations and items along the way. They are a great way to explore, but with more purpose, all the while earning some extra credits. And after watching the Starfield Direct show, there does look to be quite a huge array of side quests, from dealing with creatures or engaging with various factions and groups like Vanguard. Plus, we have heard that there will be bounty hunting missions, cargo hauling and smuggling missions, which I am certain I will try to roleplay as much as possible, taking them very slowly to savour the experience. Do not underestimate how hard it will be for me to not get pulled away from the main quest line, but this is why I will have multiple character saves. And for one of my character saves, I will take on that trait we saw during the Direct showcase, where you start with a small house on a peaceful little moon that comes with a 50,000 credit mortgage, as well as the other trait that gives you parents, in which you need to send 2% of all of your earnings to. And I will start by working basic jobs, trying to earn enough to then set up an income-rich outpost. Kind of a Zero to Hero style playthrough, I suppose. Now, the most exciting feature for me is base building. This building style gameplay that I suppose my love for began back with the Hearthfire DLC for Skyrim, and then exploded with Fallout 4 settlements, is something that I am so happy to see return for Starfield. Being able to set up an outpost almost anywhere, not sure what the limitations will be here, maybe aside from cities, but building outposts is so appealing, and not just usable as a home or a base, but as a location that can generate a credit income. Now, we don't know too much about how this system will work in Starfield. Are we going to have settlements to manage with NPCs living there, or is it more like a few designated NPCs in a smaller outpost, just operating the day-to-day running? It is pretty hard to see how it is going to be handled outside of the very handy new top-down build view, but we did hear that we can set up extractors to harvest resources even while you're away. And it also shows that there appears to be quite a wide range of building styles, provided you have gathered the necessary resources used in construction. The options to lay out your outpost is pretty cool, giving the player a good choice of where to attach the modules to, meaning that each outpost can look somewhat different. And one thing that I love about this system is when you are inside, you can pretty much go to town with interior decorations like furniture, plants, rugs, and all manner of different items, just to make it feel like home, which looks to offer designs from homely to scientific and industrial, and I'm sure that anything I find on my travels I will display in certain homes as well. And so with all of these resources that you find or harvest from the outpost, you can add crafting and research stations inside to create new items like weapon attachments. And as a side note to base building, I am very interested to see how each potential companion can help to look after our outposts. Something I always enjoyed about Fallout 4 settlements was coming back after a long stint in the wasteland and seeing those familiar faces who may have been a part of my crew at some point long ago, or maybe they've been a resident of a settlement of mine for a long while, but looking at each crew member's skills and deciding where best to place them, depending on the intention of the outpost, will be something that I will enjoy. And I think for me, I will be spending most of my time searching new planets, systems, and biomes, seeing where best to set up an outpost to harvest the local resources, building that empire, and just travelling around from one to the next, as that sounds like a pretty decent Starfield life to me, just living in the galaxy and taking it all day to day. And finally, let us just touch upon mods. Now, mods are things that many of us use to expand our gameplay further. They offer a much deeper scale of longevity, and although we are yet to know what mods will be possible, I know that after playing through the vanilla game for a while, for my other saves, I will mod this game to hell, to get even more fun out of it and tailor it to what I need. And I really can't wait to see what mods are going to be available once they start rolling out. So there you go, that is what I consider to be the most exciting features of Starfield. That said, there is plenty more that I am looking forward to in Starfield, but right now, this is what is on my mind, and I am so excited to get stuck in on September 1st. Do let me know how you plan to play Starfield and what you are most excited for. I will be creating more Starfield content on the run-up to its release, and of course showing off gameplay post-release, most likely by way of my outpost builds. But with that said, if you did enjoy my video, please do consider subscribing. Also, come and hang out over at twitch.tv/SuperMacBrother. I am mostly a Star Citizen content creator, but we will also be discussing Starfield as it gets closer to that September 1st release date, and I may even stream it as well. I'm undecided at this time. Hit the thumbs up if you don't mind, it does the channel a big favour, and tick that notification bell if you would like to be notified when my videos go live. Again, a huge thank you to my patrons and channel members. Cannot do this without you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.